Hello and welcome to the Wheel Route Fantasy Football stream, YouTube show, whatever you want to call it. A little late getting started with the recording, but we have started an NFFC Best Ball Championship draft. Excuse my mouth wiping. And I start from the 7 hole. Started out with Christian McCaffrey, debating between Derrick Henry and Devon Achane. Gonna go Henry. Achane has been sliding a little bit. And I feel like I got McCaffrey and Achane in the last draft. Kind of curious to see how far Achane drops when I let him go. All right, I am going to backtrack a little bit. I had literally got done with a live stream of an NFFC Best Ball draft and some underdog slows moments ago, or about a half an hour ago. Tried to jam in some chicken nachos for dinner. Might have to pause this at some point to make a deposit into the Wonder Bowl, but gonna queue up some guys here. What I usually like to do is go back, look at previous draft boards while I am drafting these teams. Just so, yeah, last time I went McCaffrey, Achane from the 10 hole. Might seem a little redundant to keep drafting McCaffrey, but if McCaffrey pulls the same thing he did last year, I am screwed. And I actually have Achane and Henry in the draft before that. Achane goes at the 210? Sliding quite a bit. Might try to, you're going to see what happens in this third round. The 7 hole, I think, was my first pick in the KFFC or the KFC. I forget what they call it. You get to pick your draft preference order. I think for this one, I made the 7 hole my top choice. I had been later in the draft quite a bit. Yeah, I have quite a bit. Achane. But let me get back to my team. Drafting. Here we go. All right. So after my pick here, it's third round reversal. So I will have the 306, 3.06. And I will review the entire draft. After I make my pick, let's just see who I can put in the queue. No quarterbacks go yet. Quarterbacks usually go in the third round here. There we go. That's the second best quarterback, goes first. Not quite sure why. Quite sure why Allen often goes before. Sorry, I'm trying to order my draft picks here for my next pick. Not sure why Allen goes before Jackson, but he seems to in many drafts, unless I pick Jackson. They both go back to back, and they usually do. Get torn a little bit as to who I should get in this third round. Tyreek Hill's been falling. Let me just, this report's probably not going to give me much. This is an oblique. I have positive vibes on Tyreek, even though the negative vibes have been popping out. I'm not high enough on anybody else. Like Tyreek Hill can break fantasy. He could be the wide receiver one overall. I don't see any reason not to take in a 30 round draft. I don't see any reason not to gamble on him earlier than he's going. I probably could sit on him till the late third, which is why I think I'm going to start to maybe move my preference up ahead a little bit. I'm still going to get McCaffrey in the first, most likely, though. Just kind of judge so if I can get Jonathan Taylor, Devon A. Chain in a late second, mid to late second, maybe I could pick from the 4 hole. I think I would go CD Lamb before Barkley and Jefferson, but there's a chance Gibbs would fall to the 4 hole. Oh, I told you I was going to review what had happened already. Just want to make sure. All right, I'm streaming. I'm good to go. Just so you know, may not post this until Sunday night. I'm probably going to stream 2 drafts tomorrow. We'll see what happens, see how that falls, see what's available. But yeah, I want to spread them out a little bit, even though I'm jamming all the drafts in. But we'll see. Play it by ear. But this is Sunday. No, today's Saturday at 8 p.m. Saturday, August, what's the 23rd at 8 p.m. I'm recording this. Probably I'll post it tomorrow. But if I do a super long stream, I may wait until a day this week where I'm not able to put out content. Might be doing a couple things tomorrow. So play by ear. All right. We started out Jamar Chase, go Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Justin Jefferson, Saquon Barkley, CeeDee Lamb. In the 7 hole, I grabbed Christian McCaffrey. Then Malik Neighbors goes, Nico Collins, Ashton Jinty, Brian Thomas at 11, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 12, Drake London at 13, Bucky Irvin at the second pick of the second round, Puka Nacua and third pick of the second round, Chase Brown a little bit earlier than normal, AJ Brown. Then I took Derrick Henry with the 6th pick in the second round. It is now the 4th round. It is my pick. I don't have much really set and ready. Do I? So I'm between Brees Hall, who's dropping to the mid 4th. I'm not going to get him in the 5th. Already have 2 running backs. Gonna go wide receiver. It's either Worthy, Pickens, DJ Moore. I suppose I could go Jalen Hurts. I am gonna go George Pickens here. Might be a little bit of a reach for this platform, but pretty secure that he's going to have a absolutely sensational year. And let me just pick up where I left off. Where did I leave off? I left off at Derrick Henry, correct? After my Derrick Henry pick in the 2nd round, Brock Bowers goes, then Josh Jacobs, Ladd McConkey, Devon Achane, Kyron Williams, feel like that's a little bit early, then Jonathan Taylor. Then we have 3rd round reversals, so it is Trey McBride. Falling to the 3rd still. Really like him there. Marion Hampton goes early 3rd. Not a surprise, but different than earlier in draft season, earlier in the summer. Josh Allen goes, then Lamar Jackson, then Jackson Smith and Jigba. I took Tyreek Hill at the 306. Then Garrett Wilson goes. Definitely had him in the queue along with T. Higgins. James Cook goes after that. Jaden Daniels at the 310, Mike Evans at 311. Mike Evans, the wide receiver, I probably would have gotten instead of Hill. I think he's going to have at least a really good start to the year. And in this format where there's no playoffs, it's just straight 17 weeks. And really, the priority is winning your league. Mike Evans is a sensational pick in the third round. Devontae Adams is as well, but it really relies on Stafford's health there, I think. He certainly didn't go to the Rams for Garoppolo. DK Metcalf kicks off the fourth round. I feel like that's a little bit early for him. And Cortland Sutton, solid floor. He's boom bust. He's not a bad pick. He's kind of just no frills. To Torrin McMillan, now there goes frills. I really like him in the fourth. Joe Burrow actually also goes in the fourth. Man, if Kittle could have come back to me in the fourth, I would have been all over that. Terry McLaurin goes before my George Pickens pick. And then Travion Henderson, Kenneth Walker, neither of which I would have really wanted. Marvin Harrison in the fourth is a value. Kind of missed him. I probably should have taken him over Pickens just because Pickens could have come back, although he would go before DJ Moore. Breece Hall goes at the end of the fourth. Man, that makes me wish I went back to the 11 hole. I had a few teams from the 10 and 11, and that was my preference in drafts up until started moving up. See how this one turns out. But Egbuka to start the fifth, then Jalen Hurts in the fifth. Just thinking earlier today, I don't have a lot of Philly stacks in this, I don't believe. I really need to review what I do and don't have in these drafts. I'm only doing 9 of these. This is my 7th. So I kind of want to make my bets where I want to make my bets, but also spread it out where I'm not completely 100% all in on something. Calvin Ridley in the fifth. I like that pick. RJ Harvey goes after that. Then Alvin Kamara. Still have Xavier Worthy, who I had queued up to go in the fourth. Bunch of good receivers here. I think I will go Worthy. I know I have a ton of them, but c'est la vie. This team is looking a lot like others. Not that that's a complaint, but again, I definitely need to review where I am with just about everybody before doing my last couple of drafts here. I want to diversify a little bit. Although I keep going with the same structure and I like the same guys. So it can be difficult to deviate. It really can. I am going to, let me just do a little bit of housekeeping here. I can show you my past 3 draft boards from other drafts if we are looking to kill any time in a bit. I want to pull up a draft assistant. I used Fantasy Pros Draft Wizard. At this point, it's getting a bit, I don't want to say archaic, but there are other draft assistants out there that do a little bit more. I don't really need a whole lot more. Might as well connect it. Yeah, I definitely want to connect it. Should be relatively easy here. Am I all caught up with where I was? I believe I am. All right, after my Xavier Worthy pick, Chuba Hubbard goes off the board. No, thank you. DeAndre Swift off the board. Again, no, thank you. That running back cliff is Swift, except for that Breece Hall pick in the 5th. I like that. Alvin Kamara in the 5th. I like that. I wouldn't necessarily say above the wide receivers I got, but so after Swift in the 5th, Jameson Williams Very viable pick in the 5th. Could have differentiated a little bit and gone with him instead of Worthy. Laporta, I feel like that's super early given all the targets that are possible in that Detroit offense. Don't really see it getting consolidated to Laporta that much. Maybe a 15% target share. Aaron Jones in the 5th, James Conner in the 5th. It's the end of the 5th, but I still feel like that's early. Devontae Smith in the 6th. Wow, really great value there. I guess wide receiver value is probably going to fall, but that is why I generally do this same start. Jacoby Myers goes after Devontae Smith. I know there's one of my guys just sitting out here still, and I don't want to jinx myself. Oh, yeah, this is totally recorded. Nobody possible watching. Ooh, Zay Flowers, Ricky Purcell. Ricky Purcell is being drafted higher than he should be. Jalen Waddle is really the one I wanted. I'm looking at Travis Hunter or Rashee Rice. David Montgomery goes. I am on the clock. 6th round. Ooh, I got Worthy. I probably shouldn't go Rice. I'm going to avoid Rice because there might be some hesitancy of people to draft them. There's also Stephon Diggs that I really like. I'm going to grab Hunter here. Travis Hunter. He's a little sore from going both ways. I think they're going to end up really regulating it. I know they want to play him 80% both ways, but I'm sure they'll ramp him up to that. And maybe, I think he twinged. I always want to say hamstring. He twinged some muscle, I believe. I could probably click something and look it up, but that might actually help, right? Might send a warning sign to both Travis Hunter and the team not to abuse this young talent. Maybe it convinces him to only play a third to half of the defensive snaps. I think they're going to use him on offense. That's where they probably need him as much on defense, but he'll have more immediate impact on offense, I believe. Isaiah Pacheco and Rashee Rice go right after that. Tony Pollard goes after that. So I definitely like Pacheco and Pollard more than some of the. Well, I like those guys in the 6th compared to some of the guys like Chuba and Swift that were drafted in the 5th. In fact, I think straight up I would draft Pacheco and Pollard over those guys. Matthew Golden goes after Pollard. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt getting really driven up these draft boards. End of the 6th. Way too high in my opinion. Although if Tyrone Tracy is the next one off the board, maybe I'm not really paying too much attention to running back. And it actually looks like running back is quite depleted, which is why I truly think that starting at least 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds, or like if you can get even Breece Hall as a second running back, I would want to come back with an RJ Harvey or Kamara or something like that. Okay, so damn it. Diggs goes off the board after Ja'Cory Merritt. Really would have liked him. And I said Tracy went, Jerry Jeudy went, Juwan Jennings went. Uh-oh. Still a couple receivers I like out there. Might be moving. So Hawkinson goes. Ooh, should I look at tight end? I mean, I'm going to want Mark Andrews, but I feel like he can fall. I like Jordan Addison, but we have Roma Dunze, Chris Olave, Deebo Samuel still out here. I'm thinking Jordan Addison has been falling. So is Deebo. Rome Dunze seems to be going quicker. And not that I'm going to go with more than 5 running backs here. And actually, I should have been looking at quarterback. Really should have thought about getting Mahomes there. All right, so I'm gonna look quarterback. Just want to queue up Mahomes and even Prescott to stack with Pickens. Who's my other? There goes Mahomes. All right, still gonna. All right, there goes Jordan Addison. Maybe I can't. I can't poo-poo my Roma Dunes. I pick too much. There's a lot of upside there, but Sean Siegel was making a extremely good point on Jordan Addison last night or the night before on, I believe it was a ship chasing draft. And Jacob Sanderson's been high on Jordan Addison all along. Those two together, like I really, Jacob Sanderson think he has a lot of really good takes. I really think Jacob Sanderson's probably going to make himself a nice chunk of cash this draft season. There goes Mark Andrews. Really hard to take him over some of those wide receivers, though. So, got to make a judgment call here. I got a couple picks before I go, and after my Dunes, I picked Baker Mayfield, Debo Samuel, Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Addison, Travis Kelce, Jalen Warren, Mark Andrews, Bo Nix, Chris Olave, Jared Goff. It's probably Dak time. Although I really like Tyler Warren at tight end and Zach Charbonnet at running back. And there are major drop-offs from what I can see. Although Zach Charbonnet is a little bit lowered in ADP. Tyler Warren seems to be as well. Damn it, Dak went. Oh! Does that, like... Does that push me all the way to a Lawrence or a Caleb Williams? Kyler Murray still out there. Justin Fields. Yeah, definitely not a Lawrence yet. I'm not 8th round high on Caleb Williams, although this room seems to be dictating that I should be. Well, I guess CeeDee Lamb, the guy next to me has CeeDee Lamb, so Dak probably would have gone with that pick, and he took long enough that it seemed as though he got sniped on Dak. I'm gonna grab my tight end here in Jalen Warren. If Caleb Williams, Justin Fields are there, or even Kyler Murray are there on the way back, I'll find a way to stack Murray. Drake May goes. Oof. Making me nervous. Trevor Lawrence will come back. I'll just have to scramble at quarterback after that, though, if he ends up being my QB1. Yeah, Dunze, probably should have made that Mahomes. But if I was going to do that, like, I probably would have grabbed Rashee Rice. I can't take Rashee Rice over Travis Hunter, can I? I guess could have. I have a Mahomes worthy stack in one of these already. So, say Levy, I've been going fairly early with quarterback. This might be the longest I've waited. Nope. Got Dak in the 9th as my QB1, Lawrence in the 10th as my QB2 in my last draft. And then, as I said, I did a Mahomes Worthy stack and Kyler Murray and McBride stack on that same team. That was a good looking team. I have Fields, Purdy, Lawrence. I got Lawrence in a lot of these, I guess. There goes Purdy. So you saw it. I didn't. After, goodness, people just rattling off picks. Can't see behind the sticker. After the Drake May pick, Darnell Mooney. I feel like that's early, but Josh Downs just went before that in the 8th. Evan Ingram. I like that in a full PPR. Jordan Mason. I guess 8th round's about right. Running backs definitely go early here, and it's been only one running back in like the last 20 picks previous to Mason. Then we see Purdy and McCarthy go at the turn. I definitely need a quarterback on the way back. Kyler Murray, wow, last into the 9th, beyond a lot of guys that should have gone before him. Or after him. He should have gone before. Been talking for quite a few hours here, mostly to myself. But I'm the only one that listens to me. All right, so I should, if this guy doesn't snipe Caleb Williams, I'll stack Caleb with Rome, hoping that Lawrence makes it all the way back. There still is Justin Fields out there. I do like Charbonnet at running back. I've moved him up a great deal. Let's get this Chicago stack. And Colston Loveland's already gone, but I might be able to add Luther Burden to that. Luther Burden seems like he's falling. Justin Fields goes. And Justin Fields, I have way ahead of, I actually, there goes Zach Charbonnet. That was kind of forced my, I guess, what was I going to do? Pass on Tyler Warren? Yeah, maybe it stems with that Adunze pick. Maybe I go quarterback there. I don't know. There's a lot of second guessing that can be done. We are where we are. Hopefully I get Lawrence on the way back. Although it's looking a little shaky. There aren't really many running backs, although I should be primed up for one. This is Zach Charbonnet started to move up. You know, Kenneth Walker practiced like 4 or 5 times all summer so far. And I guess they might be resting them to a degree, but you need to break it in and break yourself in to avoid those soft tissue injuries and things like rolling your ankle. A lot of ankle sprains happen early on too. Damn it. Trevor Lawrence goes. Now I am quite a bit screwed with a back stat. All right, so Jordan Love's the guy I can get. Otherwise, we're in that Penix Young Ward Tua type. And really, it's not like, well, if I had Lawrence, I would want Etienne, but I'm not really going to reach for that. I know there's a few running backs I can get on the comeback. Not going to draft receiver unless it's viable to a stack. And I'm probably going to wait until the 11th or 12th for wide receiver. Tight end. Did I say Tucker Kraft is still there, but I have to get Love first. Like, Love is definitely top priority. If I don't get Love, I probably should still get a quarterback. But I don't really value any of them super highly over the other. And that, well, they might. All right, Bryce Young goes, which was that the pick? Am I on the clock? Oh, no, one pick until I get to me, and I'm going to get sniped. He doesn't need quarterback. Let it go. Let it go, bro. Let it go, bro. You need running back. You could, yeah, good job. Leave me some love. I'm feeling all the love this weekend. Not really, but a good amount of it. Can't complain. Can't complain. Smiling man. Definitely satisfied. All right. So, I mean, if I can get Tucker Craft on the way back, woohoo! But I still should be eyeing running back as well. Travis Etienne. You know what though, Javante isn't a bad pick. I got the draft assistant sitting here. I mean, the next running back is Caleb Johnson, and I guess in the 11th round is probably Caleb Johnson time. If I have next to no Caleb Johnson, but that is late. But I mean, I'll grab Kraft first. So set Kraft first in my queue. Caleb Johnson. Travis Etienne in the 11th seems like a value as well. Did Scatterboo already go? David Njoku goes. I'm thinking Njoku could be traded. Probably not before the season, but I think before the trade deadline, I think he's a good candidate to get traded. They have Harold Fannin, who is tearing up camp, and the team is really going nowhere, although they probably think they might have a chance to do something. All right, I could. So Kraft is the pick, but Cam Ward and Geno Smith are the only two quarterbacks that I have any value for. I suppose Tua could hold some value. All right, there goes Etienne, Braylon Allen. I'm gonna get Kraft if he comes to me. Caleb Johnson makes sense. Kraft is the pick. Just second tight end. Won't need a tight end until the very end of the draft. Maybe Fannin. If he tight end, I can super wait on between Tyler Warren and Tucker Kraft. That is locked. There goes Caleb Johnson. That's a value. I would have loved to get him, but Kraft fits too well with my team. Wait, I don't have a Green Bay wide receiver. I can definitely. Whoa, Jaden Reed went. Ninth round. That's right. There's still other stackable partners for love, and even if Kraft is the only one until late Dontavian Wicks, I'm fine with that. We'll be eyeing up Dobbs. Under two or three. I can eye up Luther Burden, Rashid Shaheed, even Bateman, Ayuk before that. But I should be eyeing running back. And you know who I'm eyeing up is Dylan Sampson. Bro, y'all sleeping. Although I will grab a quarterback if Ward or Geno Smith make it back to me. If they don't, I will probably end up with 4. Don't often do that, but I could gamble a little bit on Tua, although he is difficult to backstack. Stafford also difficult to backstack and not a great fantasy scorer. Darnold, I don't think he finishes out the season. Although if I can get him super late, I can also cuff him with Jalen Milroe. Anthony Richardson has kind of lost his luster, especially in this, where I need to win the league before I worry about the super high upside. I mean, I generally do both with every pick. And I quite often have this exact build, although I usually sneak a running back in here somewhere before now. And it's usually a Charbonnet in like that 10th or 11th where I did and I usually work in a quarterback a little bit earlier, have worked some tight end and a little bit earlier. But overall, through 11, I like the 2-5 or the how 2 quarterback, 2 running back, 5 receiver, 2 tight end. Although maybe I should do a 4 receiver because Dylan Sampson went. That's kind of, well, I had to expect that because I, I'm going quarterback here more than likely. Although, well, yeah. Oh, please don't snipe Ward from me. Could also go with Mixon. This is 12th round. Seems like kind of the right time to take the risk, but the more and more I hear people talk, I think there's a better than average chance that Mixon only plays maybe the last 8 weeks of the season, something to that effect. All right, good. Cam Ward. I'm just going to play it safe, get my 3rd quarterback here. And I mean, oh, you know what? Caleb Williams and Jordan Love have the same bye week 5. I'm not sure there's anything I could do that. Like I might get a super late Flacco because he should still be starting by week 5. Let me just take a look at where Flacco has gone. 16th round's too early for me to grab Flacco. Maybe a Daniel Jones or something like that. That was before the news. All right, so the last draft board, probably before the news. Yeah, an early quarterback. Oh, maybe I'll just survive with Ward. All right, so in my queue, and I really did I drop the ball on who's been picked? After my craft pick, did I even talk about before my craft pick? After my love pick, Scottaboo, Tillman, Keon Coleman, David Njoku, Christian Kirk, Chris Godwin, Michael Penix, Travis Etienne, Braylon Allen, not T, but Jaden Higgins. I took Kraft, then Bigsby goes, Caleb Johnson goes, Jake Ferguson, Bayshell Tootin, Javonte Williams, Trey Benson, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, Dylan Sampson, Rashad Bateman, Geno Smith, Demario Douglas. I took Cam Ward, Sam Darnold goes, Tua goes, Kincaid goes, Romeo Dubs goes. Damn it. Not sure. I mean, I have other wide receivers before him. I feel like that's a reach. Brian Robinson, now a reach in the 11th. Hollywood Brown. I mean, I don't necessarily think that's a reach at the turn. There's a chance he could have come all the way back. Kyle Pitts goes. Matthew Stafford goes. So all these quarterbacks and tight ends starting to roll makes me happy. Kind of would have liked Dobbs. There's another wide receiver I could take. A couple running backs I should be eyeing up, though. Man, there's one wide receiver that has fallen way too far, and he's not even a stack. Yeah, it's going to be one of those receivers. So Luther Burden goes. That was the stackable piece, but I still have a wide receiver I would have drafted ahead of him, and that is Rashid Shaheed. Yeah, New Orleans might suck, but they're going to be throwing deep because of it. So we'll go with there, and I'll stay away from wide receiver for a while, although Brandon Ayuk is kind of sitting there. Better in formats where there's playoffs, though, so I'll stay away from Ayuk. In fact, I'll just get him out of my queue for now. I do have Mixon and Najee Harris queued up. I'll probably queue up Ramondre Stevenson. I think Travion Henderson has that most of that role on lockdown, but I still think Ramondre is going to have maybe up to 200 touches on early downs. I think that would be best for the both of them. I think it would make Travion Henderson more effective. If there's any mold, I think Travion Henderson fits. It is his last name was White. Back in the day, New England had, what was his name? First name, I can't think of it. But running back, last name White. It was the Brady era. But just he was the pass catching back and just absolutely crushed it. He'd be drafted as like the RB 30 every year, be ranked as the RB 25 or so, and he'd end up like the RB 15. Sometimes I think he even had a year in the top 10. Frank White keeps sticking in my head, but it's definitely not him. That's the big hurt. Anyway, all right. So where did I leave off? What was it? That was I think I went love to Kraft. No, I made it all the way back to. Well, after Kraft went Bigsby, Caleb Johnson, Jake Ferguson, Bashal Tootin, Javonte Williams, Trey Benson, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry. I did these Dylan Sampson, Rashad Bateman, Geno Smith, Demario Douglas. I took Ward. I made it all the way back to my pick. Actually, I think I left off on that Luther Burden pick. Then after Burden in the 13th went Tyjae Spears. That would have been a good running back to get. Probably should have. Well, didn't have the chance to take him over Shaheed. After I took Shaheed, Aaron Rodgers goes. Denver Broncos defense goes. Nonsense. Rashad White goes. Cowboys kicker goes. That's early still. I mean, I like Cowboys kicker in like the 15th. That's the 13th. Ollie Gordon in the 13th. I must be missing some news on him. I mean, I think Ollie Gordon is probably worth a 14th, 15th round pick, which I guess the end of the 13th is about the same. Josh Palmer goes. Ramondre. Oh, I'm missing out on running back. I really need to get caught up there. Do I take another Mixon share? Or Najee Harris? Or am I missing a running back altogether? Austin Eckler, I could do, which isn't a bad in the 14th. I think I'm going to shoot this Mixon thing. 14th round. What the hell? I mean, I could stack Mixon, right? Where is he? Ooh, unless he went. No, he couldn't have. I can't even think of the guy's name that I'm thinking of. Woody Marks. And I will start Eckler. So it's PPR. So I will put Eckler ahead of Najee Harris, given that Eckler will probably see just more opportunity even near the he's gone. Even near the goal line, I would suspect. So did where did I leave off? I did the Ollie Gordon, Josh Palmer, Ramondre. I think I froze on Ramondre. Jackson Dart in the 14th. Wow, he's going earlier. This is why I scoop up 3 quarterbacks by that 12th round. It can't sweat it any longer than that. Dart would have been a great throw. Eagles defense, Nick Chubb, too early for me. Quishad Judkins, okay, 14th. Yeah, 14th fits better than the elevated rounds I see him going. Rico Dowdle. I took the risk on Mixon. Brenton Strange goes after that. I should be kind of focused on Ward stacks too. Brendan Ayuk finally goes in the 14th. Austin Eckler went, as I said. Wan'Dale Robinson in the 14th. Maybe a few picks early, but that's, I feel like, about where he should be going. Wide receivers seem to be going in better ranges than they had been in previous drafts. Glad I got 6 now. Garendo and Roshan Johnson go at the turn. Chigakonkwo would have been my 3rd tight end to stack with Ward. I probably should. I'm gonna get one of those running backs I was talking about, either Najee or Woody, and those might actually be just my next 2 picks, regardless. I do want to queue up Iomenor, but looks like he's pretty deep in these. ADP. This draft is starting to go more with the current ADP than the draft listed ADP. Draft listed ADP was quite a distraction. Keaton Mitchell already goes. It is time for me. Man, Najee Harris is really kind of fallen here. Look at any tight end. Goddard is still here at tight end. Definitely keep him higher up in the queue. I want to go Woody Marks here. I'm going to do that. And just hope the fade on Najee goes another round. Although I'm going to move Dallas Goedert ahead of him. Dallas Goedert's just too talented to let go. Defenses are starting to move, but it's just too early for me. Iomenor goes in the 15th. Yeah. I don't know if there's is Lockett the only thing left to stack with Cam Ward? He's got to fall quite a bit for me to consider that. There's a late running back I can stack with Ward, and a late tight end I can stack with Ward. I'm going to go super late tight end unless a hyper value pops. Like if Goddard is there at the next turn or the next pick, it's between him and Najee Harris, really. Disappointing that my stack receivers are going quick, and stack tight end there. The Chigakonkwo and Alec Iomenor earlier than I'm used to. There goes Dallas Goedert. So after Iomenor went Russell Wilson, no thank you. Niners defense, then Goddard. That's a screaming value. And the team in the one hole really, really got lucky there. Mark Andrews was their only tight end. They only have 2 quarterbacks as well. They're kind of dead, with Stroud and Lawrence being their only 2. Yeah, I feel like they went wrong at either probably Jaden Warren. Could have been somebody else. Although not a horrible team. And make up for it later with some value. After Goddard, Chris Rodriguez 16th. Okay. Jerome Ford. Okay. Jatavian Sanders, Kate Otten, good picks. Ertz, good picks. The tight ends have value here. But Najee's still here. Like, he's not blind, is he? Fryermuth goes. I suppose likely would be a good pick. Yeah, I'm going to grab Najee. Sure, he hasn't practiced yet, but he hasn't missed a game in his 4-year career. He's working out on the side. Hopefully he's not going to be in game shape, but he might also have the desire to just not do the preseason as a veteran. But we'll see. I took some risks there. I'm going to be done with running back for a while, I think. Although Shipley's here and a couple others, I should really think about defenses just because they seem, they're not flying. But I want 3. So maybe defense is the move. Isaiah Likely and Joe Flacco go after my pick. Yeah, 16th round Flacco is too early for me. I'm done with quarterback. Anyway, Chargers kicker. Wonder if, well, Tyler Algier goes after that. That's a sleeping giant right there. Like I would definitely take Algier ahead of quite a few of the guys that went before him. Kareem Hunt in the 15th, not my cup of tea, but he follows that up with Will Shipley. I think that is a quality pick in the 17th round. Let me see. Defenses. If the Kansas City Chiefs come up, I'll probably do that. Whoa, what Chiefs have bye week 10? Lots of week 8 buys, so I might skip on like the Lions. Although I don't know if I really need to start getting defenses yet. Cowboys go. If the Chiefs are here, I'll grab them. I just have some favorites I've had over there. Oh, you know what? Cardinals are low in ADP, and let me just check where they went in the last draft. Yeah. People are sleeping on their defense. Hopefully, I can grab them a little bit later. I'm going to grab the Chiefs defense here, even though there is a running back I do kind of like. I don't think he's a tremendous difference maker, but I don't think, well, I'm probably going to end up with 7 or 8 running backs. Just reading the chat for a little bit. I'd let them know. If I was streaming, I'd let them know right about now that I am. But just recording. Going to drop this later on. Not sure quite when. What goes after the Chiefs? Trey Harris and Adam Thielen? no desire. Before my Kansas City Chiefs pick, I think I left off at I left off at the Chargers kicker. No, Algier Shipley. After Shipley at the turn went the Pittsburgh Steelers, Blake Corum, Dallas defense, Kyle Williams. I took the Chiefs, then Trey Harris and Adam Thielen, then the Detroit Lions, then Jameis Winston. Team 3 has Jaden Daniels at quarterback, Russell Wilson, and Jameis Winston. They missed on Dart. And probably Flacco. And everybody else late. Really, they just need to cover week 12, but I feel like that would have been a Dart play. Maybe one of those two Giants quarterbacks can cover week 12 and then Dart start after the bye week. But Dart's looking really good. I have a feeling Dart's going to be in there after week 6. I expect Giants to be 1-5 or 2-4. And they have a super tough schedule all the way through, but the 5 of the first 6 games are almost guaranteed L's. They might sneak out a win, against the division rival accidentally, or somebody, just having an off week. But don't think they're going to look good. So I could see Dart coming in, but they could give Winston the ball until they feel as though not sure they want to throw Dart in there if they're 1-5. Kind of a lost season after that. All right, so where did I leave off? After I picked, where did I leave off? Chiefs, Lions, Chargers, Jalen Wright, and Seattle Seahawks defense go at the 17-18 turn. Then we have the Detroit Lions kicker at the second pick of the 18th round. Rams defense, Packers defense. Alec Pierce goes in the 18th. I feel like there are definitely wide receivers I prefer over Alex Smith, but none that I'm super hype on. So let me look at defense again. How many of them went? I traditionally over the you know what? Shady Giddens is, although I do like Taj Brooks as well. 18th round. 18 seconds. Giddens, Patriots defense. I'll go Giddens. What the hell? I kind of saving a running back spot for Taj Brooks if I can get him, although might have to wait. There is another running back I like. All right, wide receiver. I usually hope for stacks around here, but I guess there is one for week 1 for each of them. Although, hold on. Yeah, Tyler Lockett. Just want to star him. Got a while before I need anything like that. And Dontavian Wicks, they're sitting back there. I have 6 wide receivers. I can sneak in, say, Jalen Noel, Michael Wilson, Darius Slayton, DeAndre Hopkins before I really hit that. Although, let me unstar a bunch of these because I want. Well, I'm gonna try to get the Patriots defense probably gonna go. I should have gotten defense there. Although none have gone, so I might be screwed. No, I guess there's quite a few defenses left. Not that I would really want, but want. After my JD Giddens pick, we have Justice Hill go off the board, Mason Taylor, Jonnu Smith, Pat Bryant, Brashard Smith. That is also a running back that I need to get back on my radar. People talking him up. He had been falling. With 6 running backs so far, feel like I should be able to. There goes Patriots defense. I am going to reach a little bit on a defense, on the Arizona Cardinals defense, just because there's definite hype around them, and I just super like their schedule. Super like I'm on Tinder. After Bashard Smith, Mike Gesicki, Patriots defense, Michael Wilson, one of those wide receivers I was talking about. But as I said, not only are there later stacks, but yeah, here we go. I bet you we go on a little wide receiver run. Quite all right, though. Bucks defense goes. I'm going to grab the Cardinals defense here. One drawback is that they are week 8 bye, and a couple of the super late defenses have a week 8 bye. Want to queue up a couple of these defenses for the way back, just in case. Thinking there's a few there's plenty out there, actually. I might be able to double back on that. Queue up a couple of kickers. That doesn't really matter. I'm going to get 3 of them, so it's just, as long as they don't have the same bye week. If I can sneak a Taj Brooks in there at running back, I might do that. Can't tell if these are really my rankings in there. I guess I could look at ADP. Yeah, I think I have. Actually, I think these rankings are from August 2nd, but they're still better than the ADP given in the draft room, and a better guide. There will be players that slip through the cracks, but what are you going to do? I just want to star a couple tight ends that I'm eyeing up there. As I said, I could stack a couple of like the backup tight ends. I could go Komet actually is a pretty good stack, but I need Kraft is the only stack I have on Love, and I don't have anything stacked with Ward, so I'd really like to do something there. Lockett is probably what I'll end up doing with Ward. I could go Gunnar Helm as well. I'll look at where that lands me. After my Arizona Cardinals defense, Kyle Monangai goes. No, thank you. Houston Texans kicker, Sean Tucker. I do like that pick, although I feel like he was going much later, earlier in draft season. Jaguars kicker goes. That's sneaky little pick. Get it? The rookie. I think he's rookie. He might have been there last year. Last name Little, the one that booted the 70-yard field goal in the first or second preseason game for the Jaguars. Then we see Jets defense go. Jalen Noel, Xavier Legette. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plenty of defenses left. Don't have to look that way. Might grab myself a kicker. Tyler Lockett goes. I am really left without much of a stack for Cam Ward besides Gunnar Helm super late. Yeah. Well, I honestly have no real problem doing that either. So Pittsburgh's kicker still being out here is intriguing. Kansas City kicker, Tampa Bay kicker. Eagles kickers out there. I'll go with Pittsburgh kicker. They kick a ton. It's probably the worst stadium to kick in, but I want to say Boswell. The Steelers kicker is fantastic in that stadium. Nobody else really is. So yeah, cool with that. Might pass on defense again if not many go here. The Eagles kicker I was also thinking about. Keandre Lambert-Smith goes after my Steelers kicker. I missed a couple picks between. After my Cardinals defense, I got up to the turn, and then I got distracted with Tyler Lockett going. Jalen McMillan goes. I think that's a bad pick given his injury. Broncos kicker, good pick. Yoshivas, no Shivas. Vikings kicker, I went with Pittsburgh kicker, Keandre Lambert-Smith. Eagles kicker, surprised the Eagles kicker goes that far, but they go for it on fourth down all the time, which can also help a kicker and hurt a punter. Interesting pattern of events here. Chiefs kicker and Bucks kicker are quality picks. Bengals kicker's probably quality pick as well. I mean, Buffalo's kickers out there, but like I want warm weather or dome, right? So, after Eagles kicker goes Marshawn Lloyd. Like I want to say RIP, but he keeps coming back for more and getting hurt again. Thank you for taking the Chiefs kicker. I just can't bring that. I know who it is, and I just think he's a scumbag. Entitled. Yeah, anyway. Bears defense, Commanders defense. Torrey Horton been screaming up draft boards, probably for decent reason. I mean, I guess he's the wide receiver too in that offense, right? Hold on. No, Cooper Kupp is. But Cooper Kupp, could fade away after 8 weeks. Although he's older, he started as an older player. I still think Cooper Kupp has 8 solid games at least. And even if he gets hurt, I feel like he'll still be back next year. All right, so couple kickers, couple defenses go. Let me look. I see value in these kickers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 defenses. I can grab Taj Brooks or a kicker. I think I'll go with the Bengals kicker. The Bengals kicker. Not the Bengals, the Bengals kicker. Maybe I should have gone with the running back. I think I'm safe at defense. Even if I end up with the last ranked defense, it's just really for a floor on bye weeks. So my defenses have week 8 and week 10 buys. I want to unstar all of the week 8 and 10, which could mean I end up with the Saints or Panthers defense. Not, my preference, but yeah, maybe should have just secured that. Didn't really need to go kicker with that pick. Plenty of other kickers, and it's not even like it's individual kicker, it's team kicker, so don't have to worry about injury. Should have gone defense or Taj Brooks. Let's see what's going here. After my Bengals kicker, go the Las Vegas Raiders defense. Washington Commanders kicker, Juwan Johnson, Quentin Johnson, Dalton Schultz, Tampa Bay's kicker, which I was contemplating, Falcons defense, which I would have liked, Ray McLeod. Woo. It's not even a stack. I find that kind of crazy. Jack Besh. No thanks. Cardinals kicker goes. I'm going to be safe on defenses. In fact, do I want to push it around the turn? That was Tennessee's defense. I can go Colts defense. Probably don't want to do the Dolphins. Yeah, let me get Colts defense or Taj Brooks. I'm going to get Colts defense, wrap up defense, not have to worry about that. I can pass on kicker if I want to. Wow. There are still pretty solid receivers out there. I might want to eye up tight end. I'm definitely going with Taj Brooks if he makes it back to me. There goes Fenton. Fuck. Pardon my language. Sorry about that, kids. Bleep that out. Bleep that out. I don't have any kind of production manager now. Couple of solid wide receivers here. Just make sure. Let me just star these kickers that I can get. My kickers have the buys of the 8 and 10. Is that right? Huh, same as my defenses was. Well, yeah. So I could do Dolphins kicker, Falcons kicker, Niners kicker, Bills kicker, Raiders kicker, Packers. It would be a stack, but hold on. 8 and 10, right? I want to stay away from the Raiders. Got to stay away from the Rams, the Seahawks. So, yeah, it goes pretty deep, but not with good teams. Oh, there goes Cole Kmet, too. I need to be eyeing up tight end, damn it. There's Arroyo, yeah, Taysom Hill, Gadsden, Sinat. But I said, too, the Michael Mayer, Luke Musgrave, there was some other, Gunnar Helm, Cade Stover. Don't mind with going with super light tight end, although, Taj Brooks. I must have missed some news, and I'm being a sucker here, but woohoo, as far as I can tell. Yeah, a couple receivers sitting out there too. Just gonna eye up kicker, make sure. I'd like one on a good team, or dome. I'm looking at, as far as kicker, Dolphins, Falcons, Niners, Bills, Colts, Patriots, Saints. Not that the Saints are good, but they're dome. And I guess there's some other kickers out there. There's a plethora of kickers. It's team kickers, so I don't have to worry about injury. So after I went with the Colts defense? It's my third defense. Did I even do after the Bengals? Yeah, Theo Johnson, Tennessee went before, but I picked the Colts defense. Ty Johnson went. Harold Fannin went. Deontay Thornton. I thought he had already gone. Maybe I'm thinking about my last draft. Daniel Jones goes. That would have been the way that Team 3 probably should have gone. Jalen Coker, Noah Gray, Cole Kmet. Really, really good pick in that 23rd round. Really, bravo. Should have had. I mean, even if I had him on my radar, what was I going to do? Yeah, not a single defense is gone after I picked the Colts, though. Say Levy. Packers kicker goes after Komet, then Roman Wilson, Kendre Miller. I got Taj Brooks. Hyper super value. He was in my queue for about 5 rounds and at the top of it. Darren Waller goes after that. Then Jarquez Hunter. De'Ami Brown going late. DeAndre Hopkins, I feel like that's late. I had both of those guys in my queue. Not much I was going to be able to do about it, though. Had other priorities. Falcons kicker, Dolphins kicker, Bills kicker. Good kickers are starting to fly, although there are plenty left. Not good ones, but bye week fill-in types. And, kickers can pop up out of nowhere, so I'm not going to reach for anything there. I am looking at like a Darius Slayton at wide receiver. Yeah, Devontae Wicks is pretty close in ADP and my rank. Slayton is just a better play. So if he's available, I'm going to snag myself a Slayton share. I should queue up a couple tight ends. Guess Arroyo, Ferguson. Nothing here is super appealing. I'll wait on tight end. That Slayton pick is just staring me in the face. Don't know why he hasn't gone yet. He'll probably get sniped right before I pick. Nope, I'll pick him. Hope Wicks comes back to me, although not. I would like a secondary stack with Love. Where did I leave off in the picks? So Jericho said DeAndre Hopkins. I said the 3 kickers. Devin Neal, running back, New Orleans. Could be a late season thing. Miles Sanders, that's pretty late on him, actually. He's not even on my radar. Too plain for me. Bears kicker goes. Malik Washington, Vegas Raiders kicker goes. I took Slayton. Then the 49ers kicker goes. Still looking not at great teams. Maybe, well, the Rams and the Seahawks have a week 8 bye, so not going to be able to touch them. Is that right? No. My bye weeks for kicker are week 5 and 10. So I can do the Rams and the Seahawks kicker. Not that they present an amazing value in any sense of the imagination, and I really don't have any kind of kicker rankings memorized for sure. Does something froze? Reset. Something switched earlier. Something switched to Dolphins defense. What was taken away? Devin Neal back on the board. No thanks. Where am I? I left off a Niners kicker, so we got the Colts kicker that goes. Dome-ish. Dome, I think. Raheem Mostert. I like him when he's stacked with Ginty. That's the second time today I've seen that. From the 10 hole, I believe. Last time I think it was the 20th round because it was FFPC, no kicker defense. Good times. Anthony Richardson. Yeah, I like that in the 24th round. Sure. I also like Shedeur Sanders in the 25th. They could both be. Well, I like them both better in playoff format, where they can help you out in those final 3 weeks or so. I don't know. I don't really think. Well, oh, I see what they Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson stack. Why didn't the 3 team do that? That would be the stuff. I mean, you could. Yeah, I would have done that definitely instead of the first and third Giants quarterbacks. Anyway, after Shador Sanders, or in between there, the Seahawks and Rams kicker go, which I was just talking about moments ago. It is my pick. I will take the Patriots kicker. I just think the Patriots are going to kick for more points than the Saints. So I'm done with defense, done with kicker. Can focus on the flex position players that are mostly dart throws. Huh. Just looking at things. Taysom Hill. Tore his ACL in week 13 last year. He's 35. He's not going to be ready for the week 1 opener, but I know there's new news on him, or I feel like there is, because somebody gave him the RIP on a stream not too long ago. After I took the Patriots kicker, Jets kicker goes, then Emmanuel Wilson, all right, Elijah Arroyo, Devin Neal. I think I might go for Terrence Ferguson if he makes it back to me at tight end. Rondé Gadsden, I think that's more hype than effectiveness. I definitely want a later Gunnar Helm. I can do a later Cade Stover as well. Not that that's a stack, but the Helm stack I kind of like. I like a Mayer pick. I'm just going to look at my last draft board and kind of judge. So Michael Mayer literally went in the 30th round. So did Ben Sinnott. Terrence Ferguson went in the 28th. Rondé Gadsden may not have gone at all. Okay. Good to know. So I could probably wait until the last few rounds there. I am looking at a Dontavian Wicks for the stack. Jalen Royal's still out there. Adonai Mitchell. Adonai Mitchell might be too good to pass up. What round are we in? 26. What do I have? Where is my... Slide that down. 7 running backs, 7 receivers, 3 at all of the onesies, but I do want another tight end. So with 4 picks left, I'm looking at probably 2 receivers, 1 running back, and 2 tight ends. Two receivers. I'm going to get Dontavian Wicks with my next pick if he doesn't get sniped from me, because by their draft room ADP, Dontavian Wicks is next. and he presents a stack for me. I do like Adonai Mitchell and maybe even Jalen Royals better as a, like, given no stacking partner, but I'm not gonna risk it for the biscuit. I will grab Dontavian Wicks for the nice, comfy cuddle blanket. That's my only, like, I have Kraft, but that's my only Green Bay receiver. Gunnar Helm's going to be my only stackable piece to Cam Ward. I don't particularly care for the non-stacks. And heck, even Caleb Williams only has a Dunze stacked with him. Couldn't even sneak out a Cole Kmet. Rough day, rough day. But we shall survive. There's just running backs that questionable running backs that slipped pretty. Even Woody Mark slipped. I guess 15th round is right about right. But it is what it is. Everything kind of, not too many surprises. Actually, like, the only surprises were that people were snagging my stacks early. I felt. I guess Alec Ayamonor is now going in the 15th, but I guess I'm not just not ready for that. Luther Burden. I mean, Rashid Shaheed should have gone before Luther Burden. I got a better player there. Adonai Mitchell finally goes there. I did not get a better. The Dontavian Wicks isn't a better pick, but it goes with the team better. It's stack there. Could help just fill in later in the season. Although Adonai Mitchell might have been the better pick there. Okay, so we had Saints kicker Kenny Gainwell, Josh Reynolds, Jaleel McLaughlin, Giants kicker Trey Tucker, Adonai Mitchell, Samaje Perine, Jimmy Garoppolo, Devon Vele. My choices. Should I go Jalen Royal, Trevor Etienne? How many wide receivers? I have 8 wide receivers. Probably going to go 9. Running back. 14 seconds. I'm going to get Trevor Etienne there. I should have gotten Terrence Ferguson there. Oh, well. There are quite a few tight ends here that probably won't make an ounce of difference at any point in time. But I could do like, oh no, I have Kraft. I could have done a Musgrave if I didn't have Kraft. Would debate him. Gunnar Helm, I feel like, will last until the last round. Yeah, it was never picked in my previous draft. I don't think any drafts have Gunnar Helm. Gunnar Helm is severely overlooked because he rolled his ankle, like really severely sprained his ankle during the combine. And he continued to run and test, which made him look like by the numbers worse. But if scouts and coaches are paying attention, he should be like really popping off the board. All right, I may squeak out a Terrence Ferguson here because by ADP, we have Conklin and Ben Sinnott before him. There goes Conklin. After my Trevor Etienne pick, we saw Will Disley, Jalen Lane, Demarcus Robinson, Calvin Austin, Nick Westbrook, Akine, Tyler Conklin, And the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. Wow, defense is rolling late. I did not have to sweat that third defense as much as I did. Probably didn't have to sweat the third kicker as much as I did. Is that the last defense? Still two defenses on the board, Bengals and Saints. Two kickers, Titans and Browns. Maybe. So at wide receiver, Jalen Royal's still there. Oh, he's got a Q tag. Knee tendonitis. Big deal. Xavier Restrepo. Okay, I'm going to likely get. Yeah, I'll get Terrence Ferguson here. So after the turn, we saw Devin Singletary go. I like that pick late. I keep forgetting about that. Jalen Tolbert, Antonio Gibson. I like that late too. Tutu Atwell, good pick late. Marquez Valdez Scantling seems to have completely lost it, truly. I do like this Terrence Ferguson super late. Probably only going to help me out in the back half of the season. But I think he takes Tyler Higbee's role. Tyler Higbee never really makes it healthy through a season anyway. Not a whole lot of tight ends do. Warren and Kraft should hold me down for quite a while. But then Fergie can back me up at the end. After that, we see Charlie Kolar go. That is not anywhere close to my radar. I mean, Isaiah Likely is going to be back before Kolar can make a difference. I get Kolar is their blocking tight end, could end up with a touchdown here or there. But there are literally, maybe not starting tight ends, but potential breakout tight ends remaining. Ben Sinnott, Gadsden, Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer's a guy I would love to see get traded. I forget if I was talking about it on the last draft or this one. A lot of guys anybody watching this, you should go back to my Saturday evening live stream. It was Saturday at 5 o'clock. It was an NFFC. I talk more detail about a lot of these guys. I'm a teacher, so I have to repeat myself a lot, and I don't do it in my spare time. I definitely should check Underdog now that I think about it, though, because I will do a few of my Underdog slows when this one ends. I feel like this draft went pretty quickly. We're only an hour and a half in, and we got 2 rounds left. This is wicked quick for a 30-round draft, especially with a 55-second clock. All right. Active. Yeah, I got 5 or 6 slow drafts that I will get to right after this. This will be a 2-hour recording, I guess, not stream. I want to call them all streams. Whatevs. All right, so after Kolar and the Titans kicker, we see Van Jefferson from Tennessee. Forgot about him. Wouldn't he? I want Restrepo as the stack anyway. Let's slide that. Restrepo and Gunnar Helm are going to be my guys going forward. Jalen Royals goes. I feel I had that sensational in the 29th round. I think I got him in the 20th round in my FFPC, but I always subtract 6. So let's see, because of the kicker and defense. Do I want Restrepo first? Yeah, right. Restrepo, yeah. And ADP, he's like 3 down. So let's go for it. May not make the team, but whatever. It's one way I can stack my Tennessee bet. That gives me 8 running back, 9 receiver, 3 at all the onesies, and I will add a 4th tight end. Likely to be Gunnar Helm, possibly Arande Gadsden, Michael Mayer, Cade Stover, Ben Sinnott, or Luke Musgrave. Plenty of potential tight ends there. This is the first time I really put tight end off until the very end, and I kind of like doing that when I get four. I like that. All right, so after I mentioned Van Jefferson, Alameda Zacchaeus went at the end of the 28th, along with Elijah Mitchell, and then Sam Howell on the as the first pick in the 29th round. I would probably only. I probably. I don't think Howell has much of any value unless you have JJ. Does he have JJ McCarthy? I guess he does. Okay. Elijah Moore, I like that in the 29th round. Jalen Royals good in the 29th round. Isaiah Bond. I missed that. I feel like I had it starred and just kind of lost him. Austin Hooper. I feel like he has some value, but it dissipates, right? So Austin Hooper, toward the end of last season, was catching a lot of deep ball on sideline because Drake May had not much else to throw to. I think they've bolstered the receiving core enough that Hooper and Hunter Henry are going to be vying for targets. It depends on which one's healthy. I mean, not bad in the 29th, but I'm going to get a better tight end, I feel. After my Restrepo pick goes the Saints defense. Hunter Renfrow. I hope he gets back on the field. Kirk Cousins, Jordan James. I feel like he lost a lot of value with the Brian Robinson trade. AJ Barner, I feel like he's mostly blocking, but could pick up some targets, maybe some end zone targets. Keishon Butte, I feel as though he's really being slept on. Spencer Rattler, okay. Maybe the Tyler Shuck guy should have gotten him, seeing that. Well, yeah. Well, I don't see much value in Rattler, even if he ends up starting 8 games. I think that's the most he will. But then we see Johan Dotson. I do like that in the last round. Audric Estime, no thank you. I've seen this George Holani a couple times now. Wonder if it's the same guy drafting him. I feel like it's the same 4-hole or 3-hole kind of pick. I feel it's on this side of the board, but Jamari Thrash, he's kind of forgotten. Browns kicker. And then I'm going to go with the Gunnar Helm. I feel like he'd be going much further up draft boards had he not gotten hurt at the combine. That finishes my team. We do see Jalen Milroe go in the last round. I mentioned him earlier. I would have picked him, ahead of Joe Milton. Probably ahead of Sanders. You could make an argument for Garoppolo. I certainly would have taken Milroe and put as Sam Howell. You can make an argument for Kirk Cousins. He could end up starting on New Orleans. Well, probably not New Orleans because they won't trade interdivision unless New Orleans gives up an arm and a leg. Certainly would have taken Milroe before Rattler and even Shuck. I feel like I've seen Milroe go in like the 23rd round before. Michael Mayer goes in that last round. I think he is a very, very good pick. Feel like he's going to get most of the inline tight end snaps on Oakland with, I can't think of his name, Bowers being used more as a full-time receiver. Then we see the Bengals defense, Amari DiMaccardo, and the last pick, Isaiah Davis, last pick in the draft. I'm going to make a note on Isaiah Davis. didn't have time to really adjust my rankings before coming in here. I need to do that before I do it again. Although I could be at this again tomorrow, and I certainly won't have time to adjust my ranks before then. All right, gonna go over my team one time. I started out with Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. Come back with Tyreek Hill, George Pickens, Xavier Worthy, Travis Hunter, and Roma Dunze. Roma Dunze ended up being semi-questionable, but came in handy a couple rounds later. After Dunze, I took Tyler Warren at tight end. Right about where I think he is going, should go. I was hoping Andrews would fall, but that's not a stack I might have been thinking about my last draft where I did stack Andrews with Lamar. But anyway, after Tyler Warren, I came back with Caleb Williams after I feel like I got sniped on somebody. No, it was before the Warren pick. I got sniped on Dak Prescott. Kind of felt forced into the Caleb Williams pick. And then we see, guess I could have also gone Fields. High on Fields, but Fields, I have a lot of Fields. So being super reliant on him, it gets a little nerve-wracking after a while. But as far as quarterbacks go, then we see Justin Herbert, Stroud, Trevor Lawrence was one I really wanted to stack with Travis Hunter. Was actually thinking of Lawrence over Caleb Williams, but thought Lawrence could make it back. And then Bryce Young at quarterback. And I'm just going over the quarterbacks here because that is, as you can see, I got 3 quarterbacks in 4 rounds, snuck a couple of tight ends in there. But kind of felt Love slid to me. Didn't have a stacking partner for him at the time, but was able to come back with Tucker Kraft. Felt relief. Yeah, Jaden Reed went before I even got Love. But then, yeah, it's the quarterbacks really. The only 2 quarterbacks that or 3 quarterbacks I valued after Love, and a full tier after Love would be Penix, Geno Smith, Cam Ward. With Bryce Young going before Love, I was like, I have to, Bryce Young I have in the next tier, along with Penix, Smith, and Ward. So Love was kind of a rush to the podium, no brainer. And then even Cam Ward, I guess Tua is in the same realm as Ward, but Ward's easier to backstack, even though I wasn't able to really do it until the last 2 rounds with kind of the 5th receiver and the backup tight end. C'est la vie, it happens. But really, I would rather, Tua and Ward, I guess, are about the same. And I guess so are the late round stacking partners when you miss out on Alec Ayamaner and Chigakonkwo. That I would have really liked that. But I was also at the time behind at running back. And maybe Rashid Shaheed was a super value pick. Like to get Shaheed after Luther Burden and Hollywood and Romeo Doubs, although I would have liked Romeo Doubs to make it back to me for the Love stack. Shaheed should have gone before Demario Douglas and Bateman, right even with Keenan Allen, but maybe before Higgins, right around the Kirk range, certainly before Cedric Tillman. Cedric Tillman went super early there. Cedric Tillman is a solid 14th round pick, not a good 10th round pick. So for Shaheed to fall that far, I just had to take him, especially after missing out on the Burden and Dobbs stacks. And then I was so far behind it running back that, Joe Mixon in the 14th round, be a wasted pick, but most 14th round picks are. Uh, and even with picking Mixon in the 14th, I ended up with Woody Marks in the 15th, who I would have gotten in the 14th had I not gotten Mixon. Actually, I probably would have gotten Eckler, but Woody Marks is a very, very solid 15th round pick. I usually get him there, either Marks or Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell went right before my Woody Marks pick. Then I come back with Najee Harris, who I feel continues to slide. He's not practicing in full, so I kind of get it. But I just think he's been too consistent over 4 years not to get him in the 16th round. Uh, then after that, I really felt the need to start grabbing defenses so I didn't get locked out, although straggling defenses fell very late. Every year, I really enjoy getting Kansas City's defense. They often have a good return game. And just the very solid defense the past couple of years. Yeah, they score. They every year they score in the top 5, it seems. So like getting that. And then the Arizona Cardinals defense might have been a little bit of a reach given ADP, but watch FFPC main event drafts. The Cardinals are a target, and even like the 17th round. So to get the Cardinals defense in the 19th, I guess, is about right in this format. Then I started in on the kicker with the Steelers kicker and the Bengals kicker. Kind of passed up on some value here and there. Missed out on Harold Fannin because I went with the Colts defense as my third defense. Probably could have waited on a third defense. Would have liked Harold Fannin, although I'm not sure. I probably still would have grabbed Taj Brooks there because I had Taj Brooks at the top of my queue since I picked JD Gibbons. In fact, I was between DJ, not JD, DJ Giddens and Taj Brooks in the 18th round. So to get Taj Brooks in the 23rd, I was pretty psyched about that. And even the 24th to grab Darius Slayton. He is a fantastic best ball pick. Super value there. Patriots defense or Patriots kicker. Drake May should propel that offense, but Vrabel is a super safe, take the points kind of guy. Let your defense grind them down, play slow. We'll see how that works with May, but as a third kicker, I guess I didn't have to rush it, but it was the last offense that I saw as potentially good, so I wanted that there. Come back with Dontavian Wicks for a stack, Trevor Etienne. I talked about him when I drafted him in the FFPC draft I did earlier. Again, if you're watching this during the week, look at one of the episode I did live on Saturday to see why I am higher than most on Trevor Etienne. Then I grabbed Terrence Ferguson in the 28th. I feel like Ferguson should take the job from Tyler Higbee by the second half of the season. And Higbee has a pattern of being hurt as well. The Rams are super high on Ferguson. They were super psyched to get him in the draft. And were really praising him throughout most of camp. And then the last 2 picks were just merely to stack with Cam Ward since I wasn't able to do it earlier. Xavier Restrepo. I think... Did Restrepo and Ward play together in college? I think there's this Shara narrative there. So cool with that. And Gunnar Helm I talked about. Should really, had he not severely sprained his ankle during the combine, feel like Okonkwo would be going later, and Helm would probably be more, at least in the Fanon range at this point, somewhere up in that 22nd round, maybe even higher. There we go for that. Let me switch over to the underdog lobby and just refresh that for a second. Sorry to flip you out there. Got 5 slow drafts. I'm gonna do some picks in. Make this last another 10 minutes to get it over the 2 hour mark and feed that algorithm. If you're still watching this, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, honestly. What I would appreciate even more, likes, subscribe, comments. Comments feed the algorithm. Really could use that. Of course, the like and the subscribe make it so that maybe one day I can start to monetize and start to sound a little professional. I would rather stream drafts than do the whole sleepers, the 5 running backs you can't live without kind of thing. But I just, at this point, I don't have time for that. I will do that next off season. All right. So what are we looking at here? I have 3 quarterbacks: KC, Denver, Carolina. Yawn coat. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Getting late for me. Talking a lot. Talking a lot makes me yawn. All right. So are these stacked? That's my question. KC, Denver, Carolina. KC double stacked. Denver double stacked. Carolina single stacked. Did Jatavian Sanders went the pick before me? I don't understand why people. It doesn't make sense to snipe a stack. It just doesn't. All right. So running back, I only have 4. Gonna get 5th. Stay away from week 9 bye. Sorry, I got something in my teeth, and that's probably disgusting. But I'm small image on here, so no big deal. Except it's really bothering me. Not gonna do that. I could do Bashard Smith. Don't really have a lot of Bashard Smith. You look at the tight ends. Oh, I'm just gonna grab Harold Fannin since this prick sniped me on Jatavian Sanders. I'll get one of those running backs next round. I mean, there's still a plethora of. I have 0 Kareem Hunt, and I ain't mad about it. Bashard Smith's smarter pick there. Although maybe I'll just star Hunt, just have him there, whatever. All right, I'll come back with a running back next time. In fact, I'm gonna slide Brooks and Bashard Smith kind of up there. Do I have any? All right, just want to check bye weeks. That's all. All right, next, got a Pomeranian. Look at my queue. So my quarterbacks, Drake May and Cam Ward. Definitely need quarterback. Let me sort that by ADP and that by ADP. I'm going to go. Oh, let me see. I was looking rough. Dude, I need 2 tight ends? I need 2 tight ends. What round is it? 16, 17, 18. So I need. Should be good at wide receiver. New England and Tennessee are mildly stacked. Conquo must be gone, right? Yeah. Wait. I need two tight ends. Quarterback. I mean, I suppose. So yeah, I'll grab Fannin here. Hope for Theo Johnson to come back to me. Actually, I guess Dart would be the next pick, and then Theo. Yeah, kind of. Well, if I don't get Theo, there's other tight ends there. It just means that Dart won't be stacked at all. Oh well. And Fannin in the 16th might. Although by ADP, it seems as though like that's where he's going. I guess Gasecki could have been a better overall pick there, but so be it. Another palm. All right, so I have Dak and Drake May. I'm probably going to get a super late quarterback at some point. Check ADP here. Yeah, it'll be another one of those Giants or Cleveland kind of things. If I do, don't necessarily need to with Dak and Drake. Although probably Dak was hurt last season, so he won't be this season. I know that doesn't really hold, but look at Dak's career. I believe that is the pattern he does. He's injured one season, fully healthy the next. Injured one season, fully healthy the next. I could be wrong about that. It just feels that way. I expect pretty good things from Dak Prescott this year. Really hard to move him up the rankings, though, because there are a lot of good, really good quarterbacks in that range that have the same kind of versatility, not versatility, but the range of outcomes that Dak has. All right, so running backs, I could. I'm soft at running back. Bryden Ertz. Do I need a tight end? Najee doesn't make me super strong at running back. I only have one, two, I have six receivers. Don't need any more New England. Ugh, kind of rocking a hard place here. If I get a third quarterback, I want that tight end stack open. With McBride, I may not need much more than Ertz. So, like, Otten and Mason Taylor are out. Can get tight end later. These wide receivers are bringbacks, I guess. Oh yeah. Yeah, the tight ends might have been bringbacks too. Now that I think about it. Well, Ertz is a bringback. I had Otten because he's going to get Mason Taylor as a bringback. I'll put Otten down there as a possibility. And then like Harold Fannin. My idea is like in the last two rounds, I can get Harold Fannin and Shador Sanders or Jackson Dart and uh, Johnson, but not Jawan, Theo Johnson. So I might as well get a running back or a receiver. Those three receivers, I'll get one of them a couple rounds from now or next round. Probably next round. So this is 15. Yeah, 15. I'll get a running back here. Whew. Najee fallen. But I did grab Woody Marks, and Keaton Mitchell went before that in the NFFC draft I just did. So Swift scares me. Stevenson, no real upside. Spears, these are all kind of not flourish, but floor type plays. I'm gonna. I probably should go Woody Marks for consistency. But I really like Mitchell's upside. Gonna go Mitchell. Let me slide the Ronamax. No, 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 no. Oh, let me just queue up the quarterbacks that to let myself know what I was kind of thinking late. Although I don't have to. I mean, if I had a Stafford or Darnold, I guess I could do a late Anthony Richardson. If I had anything on Pittsburgh, I might even be tempted to do an Aaron Rodgers thing, but I have as little as him as possible. Let's hit this Chihuahua. Where Prescott, May, Tua, Hampton, Montgomery, Blue, Shipley, Woody Marks. Oh, I'm in the 18th round, so I'm getting a wide receiver because I only got 6. And do I want, let's see, who do I have? Some of my top 5 are strong. CD stacks with Dak. Really don't. I have CD and Pickens stacked with Dak. I have Tyreek stacked with Tua. I also have Ferguson. This is a super stacked Dallas team. Oh, I have Turpin too. That was kind of a mistake. Probably shouldn't have done that. Do you have Diggs? Could Butte that? Butte is. I would like a Westbrook Akine, but I just think Booty is better. Can never deny yourself the booty. I'm 12. I'll probably do both of these. I am over the 2-hour mark here. What round? We're at 16, 17. I only have Trey McBride. Janu is probably the best tight end out there, but is Waller gone? No, Waller's deep. Um, with McBride, I'm not really too worried about who I get at tight end. Kind of like to have fun with this. 2 weaker quarterbacks definitely need a third quarterback. If I should just get Aaron Rodgers for that stack. Just should be broken in half by like week 7. He can't move. He's old and frail. Nobody needs his dumbass conspiracy theories. I am going to throw a dart, come right back with Theo Johnson. and see what happens around 18. Queue up some tight ends just to have them there. Probably, I'm going to look to stack Theo and Waller. Just why not? That's the bet I made early or late or whenever. This seems like a pretty rough kind of. If that draft succeeds, none of my other drafts will. So this is my last slow draft that's active. Could wait until the morning. Have in the past, but not going to now. 17th round, huh? I only have Baker and Lawrence at quarterback. Do I have Josh down? So Daniel Jones is certainly viable. I think it looks like it's the only way I can still stack. I have 7 receivers already, 3 tight ends already. I really need to go with a built-in stack there. Do need running back. Let's see, ADP. I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be there in the last few weeks, but I do think Baker and Trevor Lawrence will be. One of those things. Oh, Anthony Richardson looks to be gone. And it's not like Downs is a great stack with Anthony Richardson, although I've done it before. Yeah. I'll hit Daniel Jones and then just hit a running back later. Very few Daniel Jones shares because he sucks. But, you just playing with fire if you ignore everybody or certain people completely. Gotta have that like 2% security. All right, all done there. Let me just do that. Yeah, all closed out. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notifications so you know when I'm logging on, because it's kind of random at this point when I'm streaming, when I post something. Comment, please leave comments. Like, tell me what you think I did wrong. I don't mind angry people in the chat. Works for me. Feeds the algorithm. Oh, wait. Click stop sharing. You don't need to see my ugly mug. Let me take off before I break the camera. Peace. WheelRouteFF.com. Hit it up.